선생님 안녕하세요.
혹시 받아주실 수 있으세요?
도움이 됐으면 좋겠습니다. 행복하세요.
I think that even though we haven't been part of this community as Korean would for the past few months, this definitely made us feel like we could have a similar, if not same, impact as somebody that's grown up here. No matter what community you're from or belong to, that's kind of beside the point because a person's a person. And so by being able to help one person both short-term and long-term, it kind of transcended community guidelines or community bounds, and it just kind of got to a human level.
When we were approaching the homeless lady, a young man came up to us. We did not expect a positive reaction, but instead he was talking about how he could translate for us as a means of communication. So that was very interesting and we were very grateful.
Also, I think that shows the contagiousness of helping out in general, and how even if this project doesn't make somebody want to do the same exact thing with a group with homeless people, it's once somebody helps in a society, other people will help even if it's in a different way.
Most people were just walking, going to work, not paying attention, but when they saw us with the bags, I felt like they kind of stopped and they looked around, which I think is very important because I don't think they do that often. So they stopped, they looked around, they're curious about what we were doing. They didn't approach us, but at least they noticed the problem. So I think that's also an impact that we made that day.
I was also a little bit fearful that wouldn't be received very well, and that people wouldn't appreciate us directly going for the handshake or acting as if we were friendly with them when we hadn't met them before. But I think for the most part people received it really well, so that's good.
We wanted to come out as very polite and very, as a suggestion. You don't have to take it, it's something that we would like to give you. So because of the language barrier, we're kind of worried that we were going to come out as like rude.
I think it was just cultural. I was afraid that you don't greet somebody here with a handshake or a hug right away, so I was afraid that wouldn't be something that people reacted well to. They would expect a different type of interaction for the first time meeting somebody.
When we were there and when we saw them, it's like talking to anyone. It was a one-on-one conversation. There was no rank. It was normal conversation.
We just wanted to help where we could, and just getting into that mindset really helped us break down those internal barriers that we might have coming from different social class or cultural expectations.
The whole experience kind of is humanizing for a population that most of the time is ignored and kind of like outcast from society. So once you are in a situation where you really communicate one-on-one on a human level with the homeless population in this sense, it is kind of impossible afterwards to not see them as anything more than equal. I think the way we approached this was really impactful because while it's really good to do a broad approach with a campaign and raising money with a lot of people, I think that the likelihood of that affecting a lot of people is greater. It might impact that many people less. Whereas this project only impacted, let's say, 10 people, but I think it deeply impacted those 10 people, and us included. It impacted us very deeply because we had the one-on-one interaction. And I mean, possibly more than that, because when we gave the bags, the people we gave them to shared the bags right away with their friends. But I think that even though it was a smaller impact number-wise, it had a deeper impact.
I live in Scotland, but it's still not my home country. So when I went to university or when I went shopping, there's a homeless community in Scotland, but I've always ignored it, and it's kind of funny because now I criticize the Korean people that go to work and ignore the situation that is happening in Seoul Station, but I've been like that all along. So this really changed my perspective in that it is possible to approach them and they're not different people, they're just same as us. So it really made me want to do some kind of project, or just daily. It doesn't have to be a project. It has to be daily gestures, or any kind of daily interaction is enough. And it's the same way as here in Korea, because they're still not my country or my home, my people, but we're all humans, and it doesn't matter where you make the impact. It's who you help, and we're all humans after all.
Personally, for me, in high school, I really enjoyed doing volunteer work and kind of helping other people, but I think when I started college and even studying abroad here, I always felt like I didn't have enough time, or I didn't have the resources to help other people. But I think this project showed me that I can still do what I like to do, which is just seeing people smile from things that I can do personally. Personally, I'm really shy too, but through this project, I feel like creating this video and going through this whole process really helped me learn things about kind of Korean society, and as well as myself and what I can do.
I just feel like if we were able to achieve this in a country where we're not used to the environment, and we're personally undergoing a lot of internal changes and reflections, and there's language barriers and stuff, like it would be so much easier if we're doing it in a community where we're used to it, we're used to the environment, there's no language barrier, and especially in Australia, people tend to be more friendly, so it would be easier for me to just approach a homeless person and assist them or give them anything that they would need. So I think that really reduced like my perception that it's hard to kind of approach people or offer your help, and I think in a way it kind of reduced my inertia to just not help out, because I think I can't, because I obviously can if I can do it in Korea. So yeah, it's kind of overstated, but change really does start with like one person. It was really evident in our project that we saw a ripple effect just by the people approaching us and offering help, and then showing the video on social media has also got a lot of attention as well. So I think it's something that's really easy to start doing once you put yourself in that mindset that you can help the community.
Once you humanize a population, it's harder to dehumanize them. So like I think Lucy said, now that we have given back to this community or given to this community, it's hard to walk down the street and not realize that you can give to them. You know, if you see somebody, it's hard to ignore it now. So once you do this good thing, it's hard to not keep doing it.
I thought it was a very kind of painful situation to be in, because this direct contact left us in the middle of the station, wondering who are we gonna give the bag to. So we kind of realized how small we are, but how big we can also be, because if we are there struggling to give 10 bags, if other people do it as well, maybe we could give bags to the whole people, all the homeless community that was standing there. So it was very painful for us to decide who we're gonna make an impact on, but we also realized that if it's that easy as she said, other people can do it as well, and if we're more people, we can reach everyone.
I feel like it's just in everyday life, it could be difficult for people just to approach, I guess, normal strangers and strike up a conversation. So by approaching homeless people and talking to them, I think because personally I have quite, I guess, high empathy levels, so I was really able to just put myself in their shoes. And I guess sometimes maybe they didn't choose that lifestyle. They could have been just like us, a part of a functioning society. But so in that way, my biggest takeaway was just kind of people aren't as different as we perceive them to be, because we all kind of go through the motions of life. And just like everyone else said, it's quite easy just to, I guess, change up your daily schedule and just help someone on the way. I mean, not only will it help you feel good, I know that sounds very like selfish, but then we are like very social creatures by nature. So it's not just a one-way thing, like it's not just you giving to them, it's you're learning something from them as well, even though you might not know it, or you're learning something by doing something for someone else. And obviously they're going to learn a lot from you as well. So maybe we could also impact them in a different way where we could show them that if someone can help you, you can also help yourself and help others around you. So
What I learned was that I know it's intimidating to approach people directly and do this kind of thing, where you're just approaching strangers, but I think with the team aspect, it really helped for us. I think we have people who can reach out more, like are more outgoing and can talk to people, and then there's other people who can do more like video, filming, editing, and together it can create a project that is bigger than what you think you can accomplish.
It's a lot easier than it looks, and I feel like it looks pretty easy too, but it's even easier than that. So if you have any hesitation about doing this yourself or trying to get involved in this in some way, just do it because it's a lot easier than it looks, and you don't even have to do as much as we did. You could just buy a pair of sandals for somebody or just a water bottle or something, and it's going to impact them a lot more than it impacts you, and it's going to affect them more than you can imagine, I'm sure.